It's Elite POV, coming live to your area on twitch.tv.
Let's fucking go!
We are your number one place for everything in the world of all elite wrestling. And just remember, when you're with us, you'll always be elite.
Yo, it's clear to see when you open up your feed that ain't nobody better than Elite POV. We bring the heat to your screen every week, cause ain't nobody better than Elite POV. So understand every time that we speak that ain't nobody better than Elite POV. Our 3 letters is all you'll ever need, cause ain't nobody better than Elite POV. What's up, everybody, and welcome to Elite POV, where it's podcast time, and you know what that means. We have a very big show ahead of us because, of course, Tony Khan made his very special announcement, which we will get into. Well, oh no. The croutons were angry, and
I was
trust
muted.
me,
It was muted. We pissed off the croutons.
we will get into all of that tonight for you guys. Joining me on the show, the man who was just speaking, the producer the Canadian Prince, Kyle Masters. What is up?
Producer Kyle in now is here to piss off the croutons because you know they're going to be watching and they want us to talk shit on them. And guess what, croutons? Class time is coming later in the show.
Oh, yes. Look, we have a very big class time coming up on the show today, so make sure you don't miss that. And the other host on this beautiful podcast, hashtag protect Jacky at all costs. She is the draw. She is 6-star Jacky R. Jacky Rodriguez.
6-star Jacky R.
Wow, what a hell of an introduction. So I'm barely hanging on by a thread. Rona has been beating my ass a little bit, but there was no way I was gonna miss
Aunt Rona.
this show. No way I was gonna miss this show after a show like last night. So let's fucking go.
Aunt Rona is you can get your Let's Fucking Go shirt on ElitePOVmerch.com.
Yeah, so speaking of everything we got going on, if it's your first time listening, welcome. We do the show every Thursday live on twitch.tv/ElitePOV with replays available on youtube.com/ElitePOV and anywhere you find your podcast. You want to support us, ElitePOVmerch.com, like Kyle just said. Get our brand new merchandise that we have up there.
Look at all that merch.
Look at all that merch, right? And even more to come. We have a special shirt design that will be released in the month of May. It'll be a Pride shirt and a Trans Pride shirt that will be going from May all the way to July, because I don't like how companies release these Pride shirts in June, and by the time you get them in the mail, it's already July. So we're going to get ahead of that. So we have these beautiful designs that you see on the screen and also our Pride shirt coming. And then patreon.com/ElitePOV if you guys want to support us over there. We have some great stuff going. Nerdy Elite, making waves. We just started a YouTube channel where we did a reaction for the Thor trailer. Me and Kyle are doing some great things over there. We got the 10-second count. We got Top Girl Talk and a lot of great things coming in the future for that. But now, before we get into the big announcement, I wanted to make sure that we let Jacky have her moment to talk about something. And it's in regards to a match that got announced for next week's Dynamite, and that is Dax Harwood versus Cash Wheeler in a qualifying match for the Owen Hart Foundation tournament. Jacky, we need to protect you at all costs, but also the world is waiting to hear what you think of your boys having to fight.
That's why they're here
to get into this tournament.
Can somebody like superimpose like a sound of somebody like screaming bloody murder, because that's kind of what I want to do right now.
I would have had it.
That's what I want to do, but because my throat is all jacked up, I won't, and I'll spare your eardrums too. That was the most blindsiding announcement, and it came during Excalibur's like auctioneer style rundown of Rampage and Dynamite coming up. So it's like if you blinked or like turned away for a second, you would have missed it. But as soon as the announcement was made, holy shit. Yeah, that's the thing that's going to happen. We, again, to toot our own horns, when we interviewed FTR, we talked about them potentially being in the Owen Hart tournament. and they expressed a great interest. I just didn't think it was going to be that they would fight each other to qualify. So my heart is going to be ripped into multiple directions. I've been getting a lot of questions as to who I am rooting for. The answer is I don't have an answer
Boo!
because
Pick,
no,
damn it, pick.
I refuse. I
Boo!
refuse.
Pick.
You're not gonna make me pick.
Boo! Boo this girl. Boo her.
All I know is it's going to be a classic, and I'm just so bummed because I probably really could have been in Philadelphia if this whole situation didn't come up.
Yeah.
But I'm going to be more than happy to watch from home. And if you guys hear screaming and crying just like randomly outside your window, not to worry. That's just me. My voice is carrying all my sorrows. No,
Listen,
but it's
Jacky, to
be
make
phenomenal.
you feel better, okay? Would you rather be in Philly around a bunch of people you don't know, experiencing that match, or would you rather be on Discord with us?
You know
experiencing that
what?
match?
That's a damn good point, because the same thing with the FTR Briscoes match. I was like, there was nobody else that I was going to want to watch that match with. So you guys are just going to have to be the ones subjected to having your eardrums completely blown out. I'll try to mute my mic or something.
Can't wait.
But Kyle, how do you feel about this match?
Well, Jacky kind of nails everything on the head, just like she always does. She's the best at it. That's why she's never podcasted before, believe it or not. So crazy to think. But I'd like to talk about Excalibur and why they make him read that shit at lightning speed. I know they have to get to the match, but for reals, you're telling me you can't split up these announcements throughout the show? Why is it they always do that? Why is it like right before the last match, they always have that quick 30 seconds where they announce everything for like the next week and a half? And it's like, why do you do that? Why not just
announce? He sounds
shit?
like a turkey. Like,
like a turkey. I'm sorry, what? Who's getting the title match? Who? But like, literally, how can you're telling me you can't split that shit up throughout the show and have it, and like after one match be like, oh, by the way, next week, speaking of the Owen Hart tournament, Dax and Cash are going to face each other. You know what I mean? Like, why is it all packed into one little like slot? I don't get that. I really don't get that. And it does nothing for me. To me, in a way, I don't want to say it devaluizes the matches, but it doesn't get me as hype. I know they did a good job at preparing you. Like, they'll release like a random Road to Dynamite to get you kind of hyped for some of the matches, which I'm assuming they're going to do it next week. I guarantee you there's going to be a Road to Philly, and it's going to be Dax and Cash talking about their match. Guarantee. But you know what I mean? Like, it just does. It comes across as like, what? Wait, what? Like, everyone's just like confused before I shouldn't feel confused going into the main event. I should feel like excited for the main event. But meanwhile, I'm sitting there as the entrances are going. I'm like trying to process everything I just heard, scrolling through Twitter, trying to find out if I saw the graphic right or not. They got to stop doing that. That's just me. They got to stop doing that.
Yeah.
The one thing that I hope they do, and I want to give a shout out to Adam in the chat. He said the correct way to book Dax and Cash is to have a great match. Whoever wins, wins. Then Brett comes out and raises both guys' hands.
Oh.
Dream booking.
Oh
And
my god.
even more of a dream booking, because you know AEW is capable of this, especially when they did the Fuego signing when Sammy came out.
Yeah.
Make it a surprise. Do not tell Dax and Cash that Bret Hart's going to come out. I mean, obviously they'll know he's there, right?
Yeah.
He's not going to hide him. But like,
They can.
don't tell them that Bret Hart's going to come out and raise both their hands. Let that be a moment for them, and let that be a surprise for them. I think that'd be really cool.
I like that. No, I really like that.
And then Jacky's going to have to mute her mic because she's going to
I'll
start
be ugly crying.
Yeah, ugly crying. Kim Kardashian crying. Yeah, exactly.
We should record that, and that'll be a Patreon exclusive. Jackie's reaction to this match. Just
we
record
should,
yourself for
right?
this whole match, Jackie.
We should set it up and watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
I'm
should
gonna have
do
to
that.
try to do that.
Yeah.
But enough with the Dax and Cash match, because we're definitely excited for that. But let's get into Dynamite last night, and let's start off where everybody wants us to start off. And of course, that is the announcement that came from Tony Khan.
We're going right into this. Okay.
We're going right into it from the jump. Kyle, let the people know what the exact announcement is.
So, hilarious that like Tony Khan comes, or Shivani starts, and I got hyped. I'm like, hey, now he's going to announce Tony Khan. Tony Khan comes out. But then like Tony Khan swerves. It kind of swerves everybody. Like I had no idea he was going to be there, but brings out the president. Always forget his damn name. But brings out the president of New Japan Pro Wrestling. And I'm like, oh, okay. Like this is now we know it's going to be the Super Show. Everyone kind of knew it was going to be Super Show. We even threw out a poll. It was like 80% of the people thought it was going to be the Super Show. But as soon as they announced like the president came out, I'm like, okay, for sure. But then they did that smart thing of having Adam Cole interrupting right away before they could get to it and saying, no, an announcement as big as this, I'm going to be the one to announce it. And our man, Adam Cole, the jobber Adam Cole, gets to announce...
mid Adam Cole.
Yeah, mid Adam Cole gets to announce AEW and New Japan Pro Wrestling coming together. I kind of wanted them to call it All In because now he owns the All In name. That would have been cool, but I'm still down with this one. Forbidden Door. Love the logo. Love the whole multiverse Doctor Strange feel to it with like the Chicago in the background, and inside the little blue circle is Japan, which is fantastic. Really well done, but it's going to be at the United Center, so a big arena. Last time they were there, obviously, we saw that the big CM Punk return. It'll be Sunday, June 26th. Tickets go on sale Friday, May 10th, 10 a.m. Central Time. So that's if you're in the East, that's 11 a.m. Eastern Time, and then whatever you guys. I know we have fans that listen to the show that are from everywhere, so adjust accordingly. But Ticketmaster and AEWTix.com for that. But we're finally getting what everybody's been wanting. And the hardcore fans, fuck the casuals. We're talking about the hardcore fans.
Fuck the
here.
casuals, baby.
Yeah.
Fuck the casuals, baby.
We've been ever since AEW's been a thing. Ever since that first BTE video of them I'm pretty sure that was outside the Tokyo Dome where they revealed the AEW logo on all their phones. I'm like, I can't wait for the damn Super Show then. Since that day, I kept been hammering for this damn show. And it's finally going to happen. We're going to get it on Sunday, June 26th. Of course, we're already planning a damn trip to Chicago. Why not throw this into the fold?
Yeah. To make us question everything.
God. But before we know what everyone's here to tune in for, I got to bring up this question. We got to discuss this question beforehand. So we kind of briefly talked about off air. We're going to talk about it here on air. All Out. Do we still think it's going to be in Chicago? Because of the timeline.
I'm thinking no.
I was going to say, I'm starting to have doubts.
I'm thinking no. I think it's too close. And yes, we understand that due to COVID, and the fact that AEW's like unofficial home base was Jacksonville, given that he owns Daly's place because it's attached to the Jaguars Stadium. I think that what we've seen for the past 3 years is not going to be what AEW is going to be going forward, because they're going to try to expand and go to different areas. We know they're going to California, but I think that even though in the past we've seen them go to the same areas in a short amount of time, especially like in New York or Florida or Chicago, I don't know if they're going to do end of June and then end of August, beginning of September. That is way too soon to do two major pay-per-view events, because of course Forbidden Door is a pay-per-view. It's major. So this might be their fifth pay-per-view. If it all goes well and both sides agree that it was a great event and successful, they're going to do this yearly. Like, you got to think like AEW. It's and for people who don't think it's possible, Ring of Honor did a yearly pay-per-view called War of the Worlds, or G1 the G1 Supercard. But so it's like they've done stuff where they've done these big shows on both New Japan side and on the American company side. So this could be their fifth pay-per-view, which would be excellent, right? 5 is still better than like 14, right? So it's still great for us. But I'm just really excited. And for people in the chat saying New York, that would be fantastic if All Out was in New York. But what about if it was in Toronto? Remember, Toronto was supposed to get Full Gear the year that COVID hit in 2020, and it got canceled because obviously people couldn't leave their house, let alone leave the country to go to Canada. Why can't Kyle and our boy Heel get a pay-per-view in their backyard? And it's not just to satisfy us. This is satisfy. If you guys think about it, there's not a plethora, but there's a lot in that of AEW talent that are Canadian. Yep.
A ton of them, yeah.
One last night I totally forgot was Canadian was Kyle O'Reilly. Totally spaced
I had no idea at all. And then they were like, oh, he's Canadian. I'm like, what? When?
So everybody in the chat who's listening right now, get your passports together. Okay,
Updated.
get your situation together. Sometimes it can take months, so get that shit together.
So-
because if it's in Toronto, we're going. All
Don't
right.
get caught sleeping.
So here's the thing with Toronto too. If a lot of people don't know, Tony Khan, not just the man who owns a football team and part owner of a owner of a soccer team, part owner of a football team, and owner of a wrestling company. He's also a businessman on the side. This man actually owns a lot of shit in Toronto, and he owns about 4 major hotels in the city of Toronto. That's why Full Gear was supposed to be here in 2020. So, and the reason we say this as well is because Dave Meltzer last night in the show, I was listening in. He thinks this would be a great opportunity for AEW to move All Out somewhere to test that market for that weekend. He's like, he knows that they're tied to that now arena, but with the momentum that they're going to have from this super show and from all the talent and what they're going through this year, he even said that, maybe they explore the stadium option for All Out. Rogers Center's in Toronto. That'd be a big stadium show. Again, I know, and people are like, oh, it's too big. I'm like, you realize when WWE goes to these stadium shows, except for Mania, they only do half the stadium. They bring the stage up and they cut everything off.
Yeah.
So they can, AEW can do it like that. But if they didn't do the stadium show, I still would be happy. There's plenty of other arenas they can do this. I mentioned it too. I was talking to our insider Kimmy there. I'm like, there's a place here called the Coca-Cola Coliseum, which is down the road. It's in the city of Toronto. They can hold Dynamite and Rampage there. It's a small AHL size arena. I think it holds a max of 9,000 seats. And it's really well built and it's in a decent area. So they can have Dynamite and Rampage there, and then they can have the pay-per-view at the Scotiabank Arena where the Leafs play. So
Or as Carrie is texting me right now, put it in the UK. Let's go crazy. Let's go insane. Let's take AEW around the world and give all the fans who haven't gotten a chance to see it live a chance to see it live.
So do it in the UK. So we be battling another company that's going to be there on the same day.
Fuck it.
Wow.
They're fucking war, Kyle.
Yeah.
Counter programming.
Fuck them. Woo!
That'd be hilarious. I would laugh, and it would be interesting because
it would be crazy, right?
It would be nuts.
The UK doesn't get a pay-per-view for fucking
now they have to make
20 years,
they got to
and then
decide.
they get 2 the same day.
They're like, you have to either go to
Make
here
a choice.
or here.
Yeah, right. That will force WWE not to make it a fucking live event like it's going to be, like the Saudi show, glorified house show.
But yeah, it's almost.
But
certain.
Jacky, what do you think of all this? Because me and Kyle have been talking. I want to know what you think of all this.
I mean, selfishly, wouldn't I love for a pay-per-view like this to be in New York City? Absolutely. I know that there's a lot of talks about, is it doable because of certain prior agreements with WWE, with like Madison Square Garden or with a Barclays Center or something like that. But I mean, I would have been plenty fine with them continuing to do All Out in Chicago had it not been for the announcement of this pay-per-view. We don't know for sure yet, obviously, what they're going to do, but I really hope that they take it somewhere more local to us. But no, the possibilities are endless. I'm all for them expanding out into other territories. I think it's time. The pandemic limited everything so much to, and stifled the growth. I think by this point, we could have already been seeing so much, traveling from AEW, but shoulda, coulda, wouldas. All exciting prospects. I love that people are talking about this kind of stuff, and we'll see what happens.
Now, what do we think dream match-wise that we want to see at this Forbidden Door pay-per-view? Kyle, I know you have a lot in your head that you want to see. What's some matches that you would like to see?
I threw it out in the universe last night. We were sitting here watching. Like, all right, throwing it out there with 3 pictures. Give me a Hook. Give me Suzuki in the same damn ring. Just for the fact that would pop the crowd.
Oh, wait, you mean Demotion Suzuki?
Yeah, Demotion.
That's wrestling on AEW Dark, Kyle?
No,
AEW Dark. That's
he was on Elevation.
Show,
that's
Kyle?
even more of a demotion.
Oh my God, that's even worse, Kyle. What? On YouTube where the world can see it for free? There's no way.
Yeah, sorry, Hook. You're getting demoted. But that one, obviously, there's the obvious one is my boy Kenny Omega. If he's healthy enough to come back, there's still question marks. Even Meltzer even asked around saying, like, he hasn't heard anything about Kenny. Doesn't really think it's possible, but you never know with wrestling, right? Never say never. You never know. Him and Okada need to have that match together. That everyone needs them to kind of settle this. God, him and Jay White kind of have a score to settle as well.
Mm-hmm.
So that they could go that direction. Everyone wants to see Orange Cassidy and I think Yano face each other.
Who are the tag team champions? People in the chat are asking. Wade was
Japan?
asking it. Well, because remember, there's two. There's the junior heavyweight champions and the heavyweight champions. So
and
I would.
Then
I
there's
would
also the
assume
never
that
open weight belts. Like there's so many.
Yeah, there's
belts over
800
there.
belts. Well, who are the heavyweight champions in New Japan?
I think they're part of Bullet Club. I think. If someone in the chat knows or can quickly,
Yeah, somebody in the chat could look that up for us. Kimmy, look that up for us.
It's literally on New Japan's website, so I don't want to go.
But some dream matches that I would like to see. Right, I see Ascended saying Hangman versus Okada. That'd be cool. Give me Hangman versus Will Ospreay. Right, I know he's not the most popular guy. I'm sorry, Carrie. I know you hate him, but it'll make you even happier when Hangman beats him.
I want to see.
Give me Punk versus Okada.
Not Ospreay versus Hangman. Give me Malachi Black versus Will Ospreay or Buddy Murphy versus Will Ospreay.
Malachi Black versus
or even
Will
Buddy
Ospreay?
Murphy.
Holy shit, bro. That's a great point. I didn't think about that. I did not think about that. What about another dream match? Danielson versus Okada. Danielson versus Zack Sabre Jr.
Yeah.
Kyle was talking about that. Oh, Phoenix versus Ospreay. You're Ascended. You're trying to kill us, bro. These matches would be too crazy.
So one thing we got to remember too, guys, is like
Jeff Cobb and Okan are tag team champions.
Okay, so they are part of the. Oh no, they're part of the
Empire.
Yeah. Okay,
Yep.
so they're part of Will Ospreay's faction, which is interesting.
Mm-hmm. Jeff Cobb versus Samoa Joe. Give me that match.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, regardless, guys, of like any match we throw up, we shouldn't be upset of what they do book because this won't be the only time they do this. So these dream matches will happen. It's really impossible. Like I feel like they should do a 2-nighter with this just to get a lot of dream matches in. But
go Wrestle Kingdom.
You don't want to just throw all your eggs in one basket. You know, you give them a little taste. Shouts to our boy 2.0. And then you wait for the next year and be like, hey, this is we're booking. Or they can just do it like, what's to say that a New Japan guy comes over down the line to have a match at Full Gear against an AEW talent? If there's a partnership here, later down the line, what if like Kota Ibushi's healthy, ready to go, comes in and faces Kenny Omega at Full Gear? You know, something like that.
What about this match, Kyle? Something in the chat made me just think about it. Who is the ace of New Japan? Who's the ace? Who's the ace in New Japan, Kyle?
Oh, it's Tanahashi, right?
All right, Tanahashi, for people who don't know, and I barely know.
But John Moxley wants him, so.
But Tanahashi is like the John Cena of New Japan. Now, who in AEW constantly shits on New Japan and is the complete opposite of New Japan?
MJF.
Give me MJF versus fucking
People want
Tanahashi,
Great O'Khan
bro.
and MJF to face each other, but I kind of feel like they should be a team.
I want to see MJF go against the top because MJF always talks shit about New Japan.
Yeah, that'd be dope.
That'd be great.
If Kushida came in and made his debut at Forbidden Door.
Yeah, that's true.
But didn't say who he was with, and it was like a bidding war between both companies.
Oh, I like that too. Yeah, Kushida would be fucking awesome. And he does the time traveler entrance with fucking like he did at Wrestle Kingdom. Jackie, do you have any dream matches that you would see?
I would say like I left this to you guys because you guys are the buffs over
Nerds.
here that you know. I wouldn't say nerds, but you know what you're talking
Friggin'
about.
punters. You punters of New Japan.
Whereas I have a little less familiarity, but that kind of plays into something that we're going to transition to, where it's like the idea of people not taking an interest in this and this not growing an audience, etc., etc. To me, I'm like,
the chat's popping up with like a million matches. Why? How is this not a good idea?
Yeah, to me, I'm like, I am so glad for the opportunity to be able to see this kind of crossover happen, to be introduced to a bunch of people that I don't have as much familiarity with, and opening the door, no pun intended, to this kind of, these introductions. I don't see anything wrong with that. Even for somebody like me who I'm not going to sit here and try to claim to be a diehard New Japan fan, but it's going to be fun. let it be fun. Like, what is so damn wrong with
Stop
letting
having
people
fun.
enjoy stuff? We don't like that. We don't like people having fun.
Kyle, it sounds like
Our company
we
shit,
need to-
so that means your company has to be shit.
it sounds like it's time for a class.
I gotta get a bell. I gotta get like a school bell sound. But we're gonna switch over, ladies and gentlemen, to your favorite time, and that's story time in class. Here we go. Oh, whip! There we are.
A whip is that? Was that
I don't know.
the
I
Is that the
couldn't-
bell sound?
I guess so. That's the bell sound for today.
Oh man, this classroom is really cool.
This classroom is fantastic. So, I like to start it off, right? Thank you guys for coming to class today. And let's talk about what we all love to talk about, how fucking brain dead people are on Twitter.
Oh,
Let's talk
yeah.
about how this is. Okay, first off, little side subject. We mentioned it a little bit. AW Dark, it's not a demotion.
I
You
agree.
Fucking
I agree,
morons.
teacher. I agree.
Every
Sorry, for
single
speaking out.
person in the company, whether it was Kenny Omega, John Moxley, Cody Rhodes, anybody, they have all wrestled on Dark and now Elevation. It is a extension of the brand, right? AEW does not do house shows. They do not do live events. These wrestlers aren't getting to wrestle 5 out of the 7 days a week.
Okay.
Which people who've been WWE fans for years don't want them to wrestle that much because they don't want people getting hurt on shows that don't matter, like house shows or live events. Cool. Dark and Elevation gives them a chance to stay in shape, stay ring ready, and to build storylines on the side. So shit happens where, Scorpio
wrestle.
Sky hasn't lost in over a year.
And to wrestle.
And to wrestle and to see what we
Crazy
got, to
concept.
see what we could do. Like this past week on Dark, we saw Tony Storm have a match, and during that match, Jamie Hayter was on commentary, and they were building towards their first round matchup. Now, you can just go into that first round matchup like, oh, this is going to be a great match because they're two great wrestlers. Let's go. But if you want a little bit more, which is what Elevation, Dark, and BTE give you, they give you a little bit more, right? It's what wrestling fans want. If you're a diehard fan, I want the behind the scenes stuff. I want the road twos, the YouTubes. I want everything so I can get more invested in this. That's what Dark is. Now, as far as the other thing that we're going to talk about, and I know Kyle has a lot to say about this, this Forbidden Door show is massive in AEW's growth. I saw a tweet, and this fucking idiot was saying
Crouton.
that this is not helping their growth, that only the male audience is going to like it. And then, like this, on fucking Q, all the female fans were like, excuse me, you fucking idiot. I'm excited. I'm a female fan. I'm excited, right? Jacky's excited. Jacky doesn't even really watch New Japan, and she's still excited. You're still excited to see new matchups and to see the legends that are in other companies around the world. And growing a company isn't just locally, right? You got to expand globally, right? We talked about in the last few weeks with Saddam Singh going into the India market, right? We're talking about potentially All Out being in Toronto. You're growing internationally. Listen, they're on New Japan World now. AEW is showing replays of Dynamite in Japanese with Japanese commentary on New Japan World. This only further grows them even more. And I get it. The Bucks and Kenny and Adam Cole, people who have been in Japan, yes, they have fan bases. But now with this super show, you're going to have a Japanese audience falling in love with characters they may have never seen before. I don't know if Darby Allin has ever wrestled in Japan, but they're going to love him. They're going to love all these new wrestlers. And even the Japanese fans who watch Stardom, who love women's wrestling, maybe they've never seen Britt Baker or Jade or any of these people who have become megastars over the COVID era the last few years. So it's like, you got to open your mind, open your horizons. I was just like you. I was that WWE fan who thought everything outside of the walls was not real. Who cares? If they were big time, they'd be here. It ain't like that no more, bro. It's 2022. Wrestling is great all around the world in multiple promotions. Cut the fucking bullshit, bro.
Yeah.
Now, Kyle, go ahead.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Oh, and just before you go, actually, if you guys check out the chalkboard, Anthony is absent today. He did give us a note. So
He did? I didn't see this fucking note.
He gave me a note. He slid me a note under my door after he was done with me. Fucking the casuals, as we say.
Yeah.
But go ahead, Kyle.
Right there. There's our poster on the wall. Thank you, Tony Khan, for that beautiful poster.
Yes, put me back in my seat.
But you nailed it right in the head. It's amazing, and it's always every day. I wake up, I go on Twitter, I'm like, all right, what's today going to be about? What are the croutons going to be mad at today? And of course, it's the New Japan AEW partnership, because heaven forbid a company outside of the WWE can be successful, can do something fun. Just because your damn company that you watch is shit in the bed when it comes to sports entertainment and not entertaining you, doesn't mean you come over to AEW where we're having fun and not shitting on your company. We'll shit on your company if you come at us first. If not, we're sitting here having fun watching this New Japan partnership. We couldn't give a fuck about what happened at WrestleMania because we're having fun here thinking about Forbidden Door. But no, as soon as you cross your ass over and you fly in with your little drone powers and you fly in into our comment section and you say, oh, well, this doesn't help the viewership. This doesn't help growing your audience. No. Then we're going to spit facts and spit in your face and tell you why this is actually a smart thing and why it will grow an audience, because it's an audience. Even the president for New Japan Pro Wrestling is excited. The first thing he said when he was asked about this partnership is he's excited about the audience. He knows how big the audience is in AEW, for it to come together with the New Japan audience and grow the product. That was the first thing he said. He didn't care about the potential matches of wrestling. He didn't care what talent's going to go over. He did not care. He cared about the audience first. And for people that go out there on Twitter today and to say that this partnership makes no sense, or what did the ones say today? It was like there was like no thinking going into this. I'm like, no plan. No plan. You're telling me. That means you're telling me that yesterday morning on Dynamite, Tony Khan picked up his phone. It was the guy the president from New Japan. And we're like, hey, what are you doing? Oh, I'm just getting, I got the lineup card here for Dynamite. What are you doing? Oh, I'm in the air right now, and I'm flying over Pittsburgh for whatever reason. Do you think I should land and come over to the arena and, how about we do a super show? A super show sounds great. What do you want to do it? I don't know. Let me look at the calendar here. No, May, we got double or nothing. June might work. What's the 26th? Is there a holiday? No? Let's just pick the 26th. All right, we'll do it at the United Center. Yeah, United Center. I haven't called them or anything. I haven't booked shit.
No,
but I'm sure they'll say yes. We'll just put it out there and put United Center. We'll change it if we get closer. No, that doesn't happen, guys. This little fantasy scenario just drew up for you guys. Doesn't happen in professional wrestling. This shit was been talked about for months on end. Probably at the beginning when this partnership first started. They're like, okay, when's the super show? That's probably when they were talking about it. Mm-hmm. So don't go on Twitter. Rain on our damn parade because we're having fun over here. There was exactly that picture I put out on Twitter. We're sitting there watching the TV, enjoying the partnership, while this person behind us, the WWE shill or someone who just hates AEW shill behind us saying, oh, well, it's not going to grow the partnership. And then the next picture is like, stop having fun. It's exactly what's happening. Every crouton out there doesn't want us to have fun.
A great way to sum this all up, Adam, always with the words of wisdom in the chat. A good way to grow your fan base is to keep the current one happy. The AEW fan base is also the Ring of Honor fan base, the Impact Wrestling fan base, the New Japan fan base. They are a global fan base because a lot of the fans who loved the Bullet Club and the Elite, who the company is built on, were fans of all these companies. The Bullet Club comes from New Japan. So if you were a fan of Kenny and Cody and the Bucks and Hangman and all these people before they came to AEW and created a company based around them, you would have watched New Japan or at least knew who they were. So this is a huge deal for wrestling. This is what we've always wanted. We wanted a major company to do a show with another major company. It just happens that it's AEW and New Japan, right? Carrie's texting me right now. I see it popping up on my screen. Keyword global. Global expansion, people.
Yeah, global. That means new people in Japan are watching product happening over here, vice versa. And I'll speak for the casuals now. If you're a casual listener or you're a casual watcher of the AEW product, this is what they're seeing. People are like, "Oh, you're only playing to the hardcore fans. You're not doing for any of the casuals." A, wrong. B, who cares? I mean, you have to play to both audiences. If this is going more towards the hardcore fans, it happens. But that doesn't necessarily mean that the casual fans are going to be pissed off. You know what they're going to do? They're going to say, "Oh, Ishii, I don't know who this guy is. Let me go and look up tape. Holy shit, this guy looks cool. Maybe I should start watching New Japan. No, that thought doesn't go through the fucking head of a crouton. No, it's
Listen,
just,
if you guys remember, speaking
grab this and start typing on this shit and say, blah, 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 your company sucks, blah, 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 blah.
Listen, and speaking of Ishii, to kind of wrap this all up, remember when he was on Dynamite a couple months ago, right? And people were like, who the fuck is this guy? This guy's awesome. He looks like this. He looks like the angry dad. And Twitter was going crazy.
Heel, you raided at the wrong time. Heel just raided the chat. You just missed me and Phil just rant for like 20 minutes.
Yeah. We rant without Ant.
Basically, we said, fuck the croutons that are hating on New Japan AEW. Go back to watch WWE and get your hopes up every single time there's a pay-per-view every 3 weeks.
And this super show isn't going to be WWE going to Japan and having two of their guys just face each other in Japan. No, we're going to get dream matchups. We're going to get excellent matches, because if there's one thing, if you don't watch New Japan Pro Wrestling, if there's one thing that you need to understand about their product, is if you are a top guy in New Japan, you are an incredible wrestler. You don't just get the top guy because you're popular. No, it takes years for you to get to a point where they are using you as a top star. So the people that would be getting matches against AEW's top stars are going to be unbelievable wrestlers. Tanahashi, Naito, Okada, Ishii, Will
Ibushi when he comes
Ospreay,
back.
Ibushi, if he's not injured still, coming back, right? Jay White, who was in that whole segment, with the announcement,
Shingo Takagi, like there's the list goes on and on, guys. Like
we can go on forever.
Suzuki,
and
who's
plus,
been here.
We don't know. Does this include the Stardom girls too? I would assume.
No,
I don't think so.
But the owner of Stardom says never say never, so I believe they are talking to him.
Well,
And I know they're talking to him
hopefully.
because Christopher Daniels announced that they have a partnership not with Stardom but with the other
DDT?
company.
With DDT.
With DDT. So that just, you know that there's going to be multiple partnerships. If you DDT's going to go over to Stardom and be like, hey, great partnership, let's do this. Go over to AEW, send your girls, and give me what's her name? Not Siri.
Kairi Sane, bro. Give me Kairi Sane versus fucking Britt Baker.
Yeah.
All right. Or versus Thunder Rosa, or versus Toni Storm. Like, Toni Storm has wrestled all these Japanese girls. So it'll be the easiest to transition over for them. But
listen, can I put a tiny little bow on this with a couple points?
yes,
Fine.
go ahead.
I guess so.
Oh, geez. You only talked for the whole time. Didn't let me say anything.
You know.
I didn't get to be in the front of the class.
We let you talk about FTR, but you decided to cut it short.
What am I going to talk about? I'll talk about it plenty next week.
We're going to shoot, Jacky. Are you actually an FTR? Are you an actual FTR fan or no? What's going on?
Whoa. We're going to shoot it, Jacky.
Anyway, the only points that I'm going to add to this are these two things. One, if this is something that doesn't personally interest you, like if you see the card or the announcement and you're like, I don't, it doesn't really do anything for me. That's perfectly fine. But do not sit there and project onto other people that because you're not interested in it, then nobody must be interested in it.
It's a nice bow.
Because there are plenty of people that I saw that were chomping at the bit for this thing to be a possibility. And now that it's a reality, people are already booking their flights. They're already booking their hotel rooms. It's a big deal for a lot of people. It's okay if it's not a big deal for you, but that doesn't mean it's not a big deal for nobody. I didn't want to rant today.
I really didn't. But it got to me today. It got to me. And it really doesn't, but it got to me today. And
the other thing is, if you don't know what you're talking about, it is perfectly okay to say
for you to shut the fuck up.
At all.
To shut the fuck up. Jacky was gonna say it way too nice. If you don't know what you're talking about, shut the fuck up. I always will use myself as the biggest example. I used to really be into MMA, right? I used to watch UFC every pay-per-view and be there at Buffalo Wild Wings. That's where my love for that restaurant came into play,
nice.
Right? Every pay-per-view. Guess what? I haven't been watching in years. So if someone wants to go, Phil, what do you think about this? I'm going to go, I don't know. I haven't watched in years. And that's it. I'm not going to be like, oh, well, let me tell you. Okay, it's not like it used to be. When No, I'm going to shut the fuck up.
Frank
so
Mir
if you are a diehard wrestling fan, shut the fuck up. Keep your opinions to your fucking self, or keep it on your timeline over fucking there. Fuck the casuals. Let us diehard fans have something, okay? You casual fans got WrestleMania. You got 17
baby.
fucking celebrity matches, and all your real superstars were left on fucking Friday Night SmackDown having matches that don't fucking matter. Finn Balor loses the title to somebody who lost to a motherfucking commentator, but we're not going to talk about that. Let us have this moment as diehard fans. Thank you very much.
FTC shirts up soon.
All right, but enough with that. Let's talk about some great wrestling that happened last night. And I want to start with CM Punk versus Dustin Rhodes in yet another match where Dustin Rhodes shows the fuck out. Like, we get it. This dude's a legendary wrestler. He's so great, right? But man, every time we're like, this will be the match he doesn't show out. This will be the match he doesn't show out. And every single time with storytelling, they work. It was a 20-minute match and it was so much fun. Right, Jacky, what did you think of Punk versus Dustin?
Yeah, this was another instance of like us looking at like, oh, why Dustin? Why Dustin in this match? And for Dustin being a man in his 50s, it's undeniable, no pun intended, that he has still got a lot of gas in the tank. Good for him. He's still going out there and really doing things in the ring. I think my biggest gripe with this initially was that I'm like, well, what does it do story-wise? Like, what, where are we going with this element being tossed in? But in the end, you got an almost 20-minute match where it was really solid stuff. It was a little bit slower paced, just like very slow, methodical.
I didn't think they were
like
going to go like... I wasn't expecting Will Ospreay and Ricochet out of these two.
No, well, I wasn't expecting any of that, but it was just more like, like you get things like Punk, meticulously working the leg and stuff like that. Like,
there's more storytelling wrestling than let me see if I can do 3 backflips instead of 2.
Right. But I'm like, for Dustin, again, to be his age, to do an almost 20-minute match with a guy like CM Punk, who has been really finding his stride, it's impressive. Punk is now 17-1 in AEW, and we get, at the conclusion of that match, we get Hangman Adam Page walking out because we know that Punk has been heavily teasing that he wants to go for that AEW World Championship. And now we're seeing little clues that maybe my prediction that we did on our Good Morning Elite Double or Nothing card prediction, maybe we're going to see Punk versus Hangman Adam Page at Double or Nothing.
And a little side note to people who do not understand or who say things like, oh, Hangman's not being booked well as a champion. The story of Hangman from day one in this company was he is not confident in himself. He is not confident in his own abilities. And he does not only think, A, he can win the big one, but B, he does not think that his friends, he has friends, right? The whole story with the Elite abandoned him. Then he finds friends in the Dark Order, which gives him confidence, and he beats Kenny. And his whole title run, you've seen him get more aggressive. And I bring this all up because in saying we get Hangman and Punk, Hangman, a couple months ago, would never walk out and face-to-face look at a challenger like, I'm ready for you, especially a challenger at the caliber of CM Punk. So this is beautiful, beautiful storytelling with Hangman Adam Page.
Oh, it just looks like everyone's got to wait. They got to be patient, man. And I'm not criticizing you, Jack, but anyone that thought like you, saying, like, what's the point of this match? Well, you've seen it. Punk's producing great wrestling matches no matter if they're 23 or 83. He's going in there and putting on a fantastic wrestling match, and then we saw what happened at the end. Hangman came out with a beautiful stare-down. Crowd went nuts for that. Yeah, they teased the pay-per-view, and like if Punk's 17-1, it's going to be a story going into that pay-per-view. And I think this is going to be, and Jacky and I'll agree, it's probably going to be one-on-one because I know that Adams and the Owen, I'd like to think that he might not win the Owen, still find his way into that title match, but it looks like he's probably going to be in the finals, I'm going to assume, of the Owen, and because why not have Adam Cole in the finals of the Owen for a pay-per-view? It sells itself right there, right?
Yeah, true. It is true. Same with Britt Baker on the women's side, right?
Yeah. Man, if they both win, look at that. The power couple, right?
If they both win and they get trophies for it, shout out to Rob. He gets the picture that he always wanted, right? So there's a very famous picture of Adam Cole and Kevin Owens, or Kevin Steen at the time, in a hotel room in separate beds with both their titles. And you get to recreate that with Adam Cole and Britt Baker, which would be really
awesome. But yeah, great wrestling match to start off the night, man. Like, I come on this show every week, and I always say it. Like, they either start the show with Bryan Danielson, Adam Cole, or CM Punk's music. It's one of the three. It's one of the three every week. It's crazy.
What a way to start.
Yeah, I know. It is. I'm not criticizing it. I laugh at it because as soon as I hear it, I'm like, oh, well, I know what I'm going to bring up on the show this week. But yeah, I'm loving this story. It's gonna be interesting to see if one of them. A lot of people are asking like, who's gonna make the first alcohol reference, right? Because of Hangman's gotten rid of the alcohol right to become a world champion. Like alcohol was taking over his life. Now he got rid of it, become a world champion, became sort of straight edge. I mean, he did drink that beer in the stands a couple of weeks ago, but or is Punk gonna make the reference, right? You know what I mean? Like Punk will, like I don't know if they're gonna do something. Is one gonna tie into their edgier side and not, or they're just gonna build on respect? They can have a respect feud where they're just cutting promos, like Punk saying like, I respect you as a world champion, but this is my time. I've come back from so many years and I've built myself up this way. I have a massive record. I deserve to be world champion. You know, they could do either one, and I think everyone would be happy with. So,
yeah, not everything has to be a blood feud. It doesn't have to be like,
let's be
I'm
heel
coming for
face
your neck
every
because I hate
match.
you. No, it just be like, I'm here to be a champion. You're the champion, and so I have to go through you to get what I want.
And there are other blood feuds on the show, right? And the teases of, you know, a House of Black versus Blackpool Combat Club, the things that we might see going into Double or Nothing, right? I don't see Punk turning heel, especially with two big shows
maybe
potentially
after,
coming to Chicago. Maybe after All Out.
If he
maybe
loses at Double or Nothing, that sends him into a whirlwind. You know what I mean? Like he did all that work to build himself up and lose the big one. You know, like, and he starts questioning himself. Maybe he goes into like a heel run. You know what I mean? We'll see. I don't know what he wants to do.
So the another thing I do want to bring up, because I don't want it to get overshadowed, is Hangman was getting cheered more than Punk when they were face to face. They're face to face, and it started out with the CM Punk chants, but then the Hangman chants took over. The Cowboy shit chants were way louder when Punk eventually walked away and left Hangman on stage by himself.
I'm gonna assume it'll be equal. It'll be equal.
I'm sure it'll be equal at the pay-per-view, but at least as far as last night, this company and its fans still loves Hangman Adam Page.
Love our Cowboy.
God, that's a tough one to predict.
It is tough, but it will be a good time.
Oh yeah,
watching it. Now, another match that I want to talk about. Speaking of Blackpool Combat Club, they had a match against Brock Anderson, Dante Martin, and Lee Moriarty. This was a fun match because we got to see them come out in the BCC shirts with the blood on it, right? Bryan Danielson finally comes out with a shirt that wasn't just a white shirt. And yeah, it was a great match. They beat the fuck out of those three guys.
Oh yeah.
We were hoping that maybe Lee Moriarty returned, but maybe this, we'll see what it is. They keep saying trios, so maybe this is going to lead into some type of trios title or a trios match against the House of Black, as I said. But Kyle, what do you think of this whole segment?
Oh man, pop so hard for our boy Danielson wearing a different shirt. I mean, it was still white, but it was the BCC shirt at least. Literally, that's the first time he's worn something other than his plain white shirt, I think, in AEW. I'm almost certain. But this was great.
So too.
I know a lot of people were questioning, like, where the hell was Dante Martin's brother? I don't know if he if he has an injury again. Like, I don't know if he redid something to his leg or.
I don't think so.
It was just weird how they why is Brock Anderson in that? Like, why wasn't it Dante's brother and like why wasn't it Top Flight and Lee Moriarty?
Maybe Darius couldn't be there. Maybe he missed a flight. Could be a bunch of things.
That's what I mean. Like, I don't know what it is. I'm not saying it is the injury. I'm just saying, was he did he re-injure maybe training or something? I don't know. But regardless of that, I thought it was still a great match. I love the visual at the end when all three of them were locked into like a beat down kind of thing. Like both Hangman and Yuta were doing that shoulder thing, and then Bryan Danielson was doing his kicks. That was a really cool visual, and they zoomed out, showing all three of them, and really cool way to end the match. I really, really enjoyed it. Regal on commentary was absolutely fantastic,
as always,
putting over everybody, and you can hear it in Regal's voice. This man is having the time of his freaking life doing all this with AEW. Like, he genuinely sounds happy. He loves doing his gimmick. I loved the whole last week, if anyone caught it, the after Dynamite footage of Danhausen cursing William Regal, and William Regal literally was like shaking.
He sold it like he got shot.
Yeah, and was dropping to the ground. Like, he was having so much fun with it. So I'm so happy to see this whole thing work out. All three of them look like they're having a great time. I can't wait to see the future. Like you said, they keep mentioning trios. There's a lot of trios team right now with the return of Phoenix coming. You can get, if Pac is stuck in UK again, I don't know why the hell Pac just doesn't show up. Like, I don't know what's up with that. If he's got
Yeah, I don't know what's
visa
going on with that.
issues, it hasn't been talked about. It's always gets it's like he's here, then he goes, and then everyone forgets about him, and no one brings
Swept
it
under
up.
the rug.
Yeah. So if he is able to come and he gets those cleared, then you got another trios in Death Triangle, right? You got a lot of top trio names. So you can definitely, like, I mean, Kimmy confirms his visa issues figured. But you gotta, even without them, you still got a lot of top trio names. I mean, a big one, like if they decide to do a tournament, if it's not the finals, a matchup between BCC and the Best Friends is going to be huge because of the story with Wheeler Yuta leaving that group.
And a matchup that could include Okada, because we talked about it multiple
With
times.
Chaos, yeah.
Because Best Friends are a part of Chaos, which is Okada's group in New Japan.
Yeah, what if like Orange Cassidy's off doing his thing at the Super Show, right? Like what if the Super Show is going to be the introduction of the trio's belts?
Yeah, possibly, right?
And then what if like, it's BCC versus the Best Friends and they have to go and get a member from Chaos. I mean, it could be Okada. That would take away from another marquee matchup that they could put Okada in though at that event. So maybe someone else from Chaos would be cool. But yeah, regardless, amazing match with BCC. Excited for the future. I love the hoodie that they have that Moxley wears.
Oh, it's so good.
And
AEW has been putting out some banger merch lately. Okay, like they put out the BCC stuff, and they put out that FTR hoodie that was just looking at Jacky like, "Yo, buy me your money."
Like all our beautiful merch at ElitePOVmerch.com.
Yes.
Yes, but also shopaew.com be putting out some bangers.
But yeah, I do want to quickly say though, John Moxley, like when he came out, every time he comes out, I'm always listening because I'm like, this man, he gets that big number one star reaction no matter where. No matter at what time of the night it is, when Moxley comes out, the crowd, everybody's on their feet and they're losing their absolute shit for this guy. And I said it in our chat while we were sitting there watching. I said it right when he was coming out. I'm like, Moxley's going to be the first ever 2-time AEW World Champion. He's going to be that guy.
Can confirm he did say that.
Like he's going to be that one. I guarantee it will be. A lot of people saying it's going to be Kenny. I wouldn't be opposed to that, and it could be true. But I would rather much have Moxley be the first 2-time. I think he deserves it. And he's just, I don't say he looks lost without that world title, but when he comes out, I'm just like, man, this guy is he's the top guy. Like he's the top guy. It's nuts.
He is. He's like a rock star, right? Coming out every time that wild thing hits. So Jacky, I want to get your thoughts on something else. I think Kyle pretty much covered all that beautifully.
Right.
So Wardlow, right? We get to see him earlier in the
big
night,
star.
right? They put him in handcuffs, right? I had Carrie texting me. I had me and you talking in the chat. Like, I'll help him change, right? We'll help him change, right? If he wants to be in handcuffs, and then we get to see him come out and have a really good match against Butcher. So, kind of talk about your thoughts with the whole segment with him in security, and then the match against Butcher.
Right. So here's my interesting little take on this.
Oh.
I love everything that Wardlow is doing in regards to his feud with MJF. The little touches of him having to come in, answer to Mark Sterling, smart Mark Sterling, and a plethora of security that he's been whooping ass on for the last few weeks. Come in, have to be handcuffed. He has to be escorted to the ring. MJF is in the crowd with Sean Spears, and he's like, "You're a nobody, and therefore you're going to come out with no music, no pomp, no circumstance." Shout out to like MJF and Sean Spears freaking just randomly throwing popcorn into the crowd. Like, I want to know what was happening to the people below them.
I agree.
But yeah, my only thing is this. I'm so really intrigued by everything that's happening in regards to the stuff outside of the ring that sometimes the matches just feel kind of they're there, they're not bad. Like, and Butcher being who he is, and he's, it's like the classic two meaty men slapping meat 101.
Hell yeah.
It's that kind of match. It's not meant to like wow anybody. You're not going to be writing home about it. You're not going to throw a shit ton of stars at it. It serves its purpose. I think everything's circulating around the storyline and just the anticipation of MJF finally getting his shit rocked. And it's like, okay, well, when is this finally going to happen? When are they going to make that
Tell me
contact?
you're from the tri-state area without telling me.
I tell him you're going to get your shit rocked.
Shit rocked.
I hear that up here. It's leaked up here. Don't worry, Jack.
It's leaked up there.
It's leaked up there. Yeah.
Is that like
here.
a heart dungeon thing? Is that why you guys say it?
It's hard to.
Stu Hart is a
Yeah, because everyone's just associated with Bret Hart in Canada,
Yeah.
no matter where you're from.
Yeah. No matter where you're from, bro.
It's the only thing
The
that
heart
matters.
dungeon.
Yeah.
No, honestly, I think it's all very entertaining stuff. I'm just kind of curious when we're gonna get the moment when we're gonna finally get this match.
It's going to be Double or Nothing, and the fucking roof is going to explode. They're building up Wardlow fucking beautifully. And this is what I love about what AEW does, and I've said it a million times, and I'll say it again. We have storylines that are in title matches, right? Hangman Punk, even in the women's division, right? We'll see what's going to happen with Thunder Rosa next. We'll see what's going to happen with Jade as we go to the pay-per-view. But they are building stars in the process. So if Hangman and Punk happens and it's a great thing, cool. If it's not, cool. Wardlow's right there. MJF is right there. They're building other stars while we're building these main event feuds. And Wardlow, if you listen to the reaction this guy gets, it is unreal, right? I know Kyle was saying they're booking him like Goldberg. Absolutely. The Goldberg thing worked. Did I like Goldberg?
In a good way. I wasn't shitting on him.
No, in a good way.
Yeah.
But like the Goldberg thing worked, right?
Yeah.
You guys want to talk about building
Until
your
Scott
brand?
Hall and Kevin Nash got there.
Yeah. You're talking about building your brand, building a guy that looks like Wardlow, that wrestles like Wardlow. That is what pro wrestling is. When you ask somebody pro wrestling, they're going to picture someone like Wardlow. It's easier to sell. That's how you bring the casuals in. And that's how you bring in the female audience. People don't talk about it enough. I know Wardlow said it on an old episode of Unrestricted, but when Wardlow is on TV, the female viewership goes through the roof.
The demo god of the female viewership.
Exactly. And this is not us thirsting over Wardlow. These are facts.
I'm thirsting over him. That man's
we always thirst
we
over
simp
Wardlow.
for Wardlow.
Yeah, we simp
Just
hard
let me
for
get my
Wardlow.
glass of water.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry, we're on Twitch.
But
Can't say
like
that.
he draws
we
viewers.
shrimp
So
Wardlow.
especially if the timeline goes the way we think, where at some point this year MJF wins the belt, and then the person to beat him at some point next year is Wardlow. So this would be a great start to their feud. I'm excited for this.
Yeah.
Connolly, final thoughts on all this.
Man, I think a lot of people are just used to, like, I see this complaint a lot. It's like when people are like, when they say the whole like AWs know how to build stars and stuff like that. I'm like, they're doing this in the process. Like the overtime and since they've started, they're building stars the proper way. I think people are just too conditioned from other companies out there that rush things way too quickly and will put people into world title situations way too quickly. That doesn't make a star. Just because they win the world title does not mean they're a star right away. And I'll give you a prime example is what they tried to do with Roman Reigns and it failed. People hated that shit. They shit on him. Look what they had to do. It took him 5 years to finally build him to what he was supposed to be originally off the bat. So they're doing it the right way and the correct way with Wardlow. It's a slow build. The man will be a world champion one day, but for right now, look at this. This man gets the biggest reaction, and he's not in a world title. He's technically not contracted to AEW. He's contracted to MJF. And he's getting the biggest reaction of a lot of big stars that are in that company. It's not even just with him. Like, you see what they're doing with Darby. Like, they paired him up with Sting ever since Sting got here, right? Like, it's been amazing, and that's been building up Darby's legacy. All these matches and all these cool moments he's having with Sting. Britt Baker, you saw how far she's come since the beginning of AEW. Now she's definitely a pillar of AEW. It's insane. Look
You saw the reaction she got last night.
Yeah.
Jay may be a step ahead of the game because she just has that appeal, that star appeal already. But they're doing a great job with her and building her up. And watch, when she gets that first loss, they're making mention of the record always up on the Jumbotron. When that first loss happens, it's going to be to a big babyface, or it's going to be maybe to a growing star that they're trying to build up.
It's going to mean something.
Yeah, so...
And they're building other women in the process, right? We saw a vignette from Serena Deeb and Sheeta with them finally coming to an end, right, to their feud next week. And then
they can fight every week, and I would not care. Those two have
they're building
matches.
Statlander. They're building a lot of women here, right? We just saw Ty Conti, I guess, is officially a heel now with Sammy. They're building other women, right? It's all about patience here. We talk about it all the time. It's very difficult when you're coming from the world of WWE, like all of us are,
because they rush
where everything is go, 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 go. Everything's rushed.
And Vince is a businessman. He doesn't care if it's rushed. He just cares about your money. Here, Tony Khan is a wrestling fan first and a wrestling mark first. He cares about the slow build and will make it mean something in the end.
So we just have to have patience. Now, something else I want to talk about. We get Darby Allin versus Andrade in a coffin match, which main evented the show, which all of us were like, they're running kind of long. How quick is this match going to be? And it was actually out of moments that Kyle pointed out. You hear Bryce Remsburg be like 90 seconds or whatever. Like you hear him calling out time cues because like that show, something must have ran really long because that match with Darby and Andrade was like at full speed. That match was as quick as Excalibur doing all the promo and stuff.
That's
like
probably
that.
why Excalibur had to go so fast.
Probably, right? But we did get the cool moment as a throwback to Sting when he was in the NWO, Sting in the crowd, taking off the Sting mask, and it's actually him under the match, which was really cool.
He's done that so many times more than I thought.
But it's so much fun, right?
Yeah.
It's just so much fun. And then the match was great. Of course, Darby wins, but it was a good time. Kyle, what'd you think of the match?
I mean, I thought it was great, and this is basically AEW's version of a casket match. If anybody doesn't know, it's just, if it makes sense, Darby eyes. Like he put thumbtacks in the damn freaking coffin lid, which is insane. But yeah, I did feel rushed. Regardless, it was still the main event of Dynamite. They're giving a spot to, and again, this runs all the way back in full circle to what we say every week. Like Tony Khan listens to the fans. Fans were complaining that Andrade wasn't getting time. He was only being put on dark. He was getting put in the middle of the show in meaningless shit. Look what happens now. He listens to the fans, puts him in a serious match. Like, if you're sitting there saying the coffin match was not a serious match, you're an idiot. This was a casket match, which everyone went nuts for in WWE when Undertaker used to do his casket matches all the time. But this is going to be in a main event of Diamond, and they're in the main event slot. Andrade got to be in the main event slot against Darby Allin, one of the pillars of this company, and have a banger of a match regardless. Like you said, they had that cool moment with Sting, with the masking that he's done so many times that still pops everybody. They still had a lot of cool spots. Andrade lost, but like you saw what it took to get Andrade into that casket. It wasn't no easy squash. But Andrade just...
And who knows what can come after it, though, right?
I believe...
The last time there was a coffin match against Ethan Page, look at the Men of the Year now.
Yeah.
Right? Ethan, you could love or hate what they're doing, but they're being used fairly frequently. So this is only good.
I don't know if they're going to have a rematch. I'd be okay with them to have a rematch and give it a little bit more alluded time. Or if Andrade wants to go off and do something else now, I'm fine with that too, because it looks like the story is now. We saw at the end of the match the Hardys. I was like, why the hell are the Hardys out here? I'm like, oh wait, Double or Nothing. They're for sure going to do the Hardys against Sting and Darby. That's definitely going to be a match.
Yeah, I could see that.
And I bet you, guarantee you, that's not going to be an in-ring match. That's going to be
they're going to cinematic.
Yeah, they did the whole delete thing at the end of the match to end Dynamite. They're going to go full out. Like, we're going to get the Maskas back. We're going to get Brother Nero. It's going to be an ultimate deletion match at Double or Nothing.
Yeah, I can see that. What do you think, Jackie?
I'll just piggyback a little bit off of the stuff that was said. I think it was a decent match. I'm not super a fan of like coffin casket matches, but they did a nice little twist on it with adding the thumbtacks to the lid of the casket. I just want to know what the hell Darby Allin's body must feel like every day, the next day after he does a match.
I'm telling you, he's like Harry Potter in that one scene in the second movie.
My goodness,
just no bones.
Like, just like it. I'm like, how does that not, like? I'm not saying like how does it not hurt, because obviously it does. But it's just like, how do you keep putting yourself through this? It's like he'll do the most like crazy things, like him getting thrown onto the metal grate, where I guess that's where the pyro comes out on the stage. Everything just looks like it hurts.
That doesn't hurt. He's acting.
Freaking Sting once again climbing up on balconies, throwing himself off.
Oh my God!
Like, what, my dude? You don't have to do this. Please.
Man's having the time of his life, bro. Keep doing it. I'm loving it.
Yo, does AEW have all like the best old people that can still go?
I guess. I mean, like he. It's all very safe looking. I'll give them that. It doesn't look like he's ever in any potential danger to really hurt himself. But just visually thinking about a 63-year-old man jumping off a balcony onto a bunch of people, it's just like, what the hell is happening?
I'm upset, but I'm upset no one's made him into a meme video of him jumping off, cropping him out, and putting him in like the galaxy and stuff, going dun, 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 dun.
That trend is so old, Kyle.
Oh my God.
That was my favorite thing to do in the world.
Like bring it back. The only thing that I'll say to like end my thoughts on this match is that I really hope that they move Andrade away from this particular feud. And Ant's not here to like ask me to say it again. But
say it again.
I mean, Andrade. I want them to get him away from this because he has lost a lot in this feud. It feels like, and you know, great that he's getting the time, the exposure, perfect. I just want him to look a little stronger, and if getting him away from this feud is a way to do that, then I'm cool if this is kind of like the cap on it for now.
Jacky, say it one more time. For
No,
Andy.
no. He said, say it again.
Andrade el ídolo.
Okay.
I mean, I'm doing it for Anne.
I lost my
listen,
voice
right?
from the classroom. I can't say it.
Now next,
I'm just trying to pop the boys.
pop the boys. Next, let's talk about. So we have Britt Baker versus Danielle Camella in a qualifying match for the Owen Hart. No surprise, Britt Baker went over here. It was actually a really fun match. The cool thing that I want to talk about, Britt Baker, obviously from Pittsburgh. Obviously, we knew she was going to get a huge ovation, but came out with 2 Pittsburgh Steelers. The crowd went ballistic.
Nuts.
And so, Jacky, what did you think of this match?
I liked this match a lot. So Danielle Camella is somebody that, I had brief exposure to as Vanessa Bourne when she was in the Mae Young Classic. Great. I think that she came in and made her first appearance look pretty damn effortless. Britt Baker is the heel for all intents and purposes, but in Pittsburgh, she's never going to be the heel. And I think Camella kind of came in and really did her heel work very well. She even smothered or tried to choke Britt with a terrible towel at one point during the match. I think she looks really, really good. And she's somebody that immediately I'm like, okay, I want to see more of her. I don't know if they're going to end up signing her full time.
I can tell you, Tony Khan is very high on her. He's mentioned it.
He should be because she was great. But the post match promo, Britt kind of still healing it up, even though she's getting massive cheers, and she's saying, the women's division was a disaster without her. But I want to call out that she threw some major shade at Toni Storm, where she said, and I quote, "If you thought cake in the face was bad, wait until Jamie wipes your face with this ring. You're going to want to leave this company too."
Okay, I'm sorry.
That's the finals.
I thought they were
going to be the finals.
I'm just going to say, I'll be the one to say, because I know 90% of the people were thinking it. I thought they were going in a different direction with that. Just saying. As soon as she mentioned cake, I'm like, oh God, where is this going?
I think we all thought it, but they swerved it. But I was just like, okay, she's coming for Toni Storm. Is this going to be one of those matches that we're going to see in the finals?
That's what I think. And also the thing with Danielle Camella, this is why it's very important that Tony Khan doesn't listen to the internet and continues to sign women who come from WWE or NXT or any company that has TV experience. The reason Danielle Camella looks so good and stood out to a lot of us, she has TV experience. She was on NXT for years. And I understand NXT is not WWE, but you're trained in NXT to perform to the camera. It's not an indie show where you're just wrestling and you have to wrestle to the crowd. She knows where the hard cam is. She knows what to do. She knows how to get the crowd into it when there's dead spots in the match. She did an excellent job at playing the heel against the hometown hero in Britt Baker. She would be a huge asset for this company. I see Ascended people bringing up Athena, right? She would also be great for this company. There's a lot of great women out there who have a ton of TV experience that would only make the women's division in AEW even better.
No, you nailed it right in the head there. And we know that, I know Tony Khan listens to us, and I guess he ignores the bots. I guess he's gotten people to look into that. But he's got to listen to the ones that are saying you got to hire the ones with TV experience. Like you said it best there, Phil. Vanessa Bourne, aka or FKA Vanessa Bourne, I know he's really high, or he's really high on her. He said it in Busted Open, I believe, last Friday. So I know she's most likely going to get signed. She'll probably be in a few more probably AEW Dark matches in Dark Elevation or maybe even Rampage. And then we'll most likely get an All Elite graphic. But they're doing really good work with the women's division right now. There's a lot of things going on all at once, which is in a good way, and it's a good thing. Like we have the build of this new Statlander where she's getting over like crazy on Dark right now, and I can't wait for that to transition over. You have now Kiera Hogan and Red Velvet looks like she's joining this faction with
baddies.
Jade, the baddies, which is
Baddie section.
perfect. Have those two in the crowd with all the baddies from each city and have her be like Jade's henchman going forward. Maybe Jade's like close to a loss and those two cost the match. You know what I mean? Like they need to do something with that. And I really think that they are, which is great. So you have the whole Jade storyline. You have Britt now going into the Owen Hart tournament, which is a story with Toni Storm. That's going to be an amazing final. I think that will for sure be the final. Then you have the Toni Storm at the same time, who's doing her thing with Jamie Hayter. There's a story there. Hikaru Shida.
Jamie Hayter also, who we did mention it before, sounded extremely comfortable on commentary. Jacky brought this up to me.
She did,
right?
yeah.
Jamie Hayter needs more segments where a microphone in her hand, she carries herself
That's
like
coming.
a star.
That's for sure coming. As soon as she separates from Britt, you know we're going to get... It's probably another slow thing with Jamie Hayter. I think now they should know by now that they have something with her. That's why they signed her back after all those years in Stardom that she went back over for. So she's experted her craft wrestling-wise over there, come back. She's now proving that she's good with a mic and promo-wise. They got something special with Jamie Hayter. So I think obviously they know. You got to think they know they have a star with her. So, yeah, that was awesome. Loved the whole Brit crowd thing, bringing out the Steelers thing with the even more of a pop. The promo after, I know it felt off to a lot of people. That's because I think Britt was just winded from the match.
I was going to say, I think
the delivery was wrong. So, like, if the delivery was, like, if she wasn't tired, I think it would have still came out better. That awkward, like what you said, Jamie, or Jacky, but we're just talking about Jamie Hayter. Sorry.
That's okay.
Every time you talk about Jamie Hayter, you always call Jacky Jamie.
Well, I mean, Jacky Jamie, like, and then the E's there. Like, come on. It's not like her name was Cassandra, and I'm like, oh, Jamie.
It's close enough. It's all good.
She is the total package ascended. That's right. It's my girl.
She is. So now we're getting towards the end of the show, but I definitely want to bring something up. So we have Jungle Boy versus Kyle O'Reilly in a shocking ending, because we were talking about during the show, and I was like, one of these qualifiers are going to end shockingly, right? Kyle O'Reilly goes over here. But before we get into that, Kyle, Undisputed Elite was mentioned multiple times on the show last night, and yet Shop AEW will not give you your goddamn shirt. What are your thoughts on that?
Give me this on a t-shirt, damn it. I don't care if you get sued. Give me this on a t-shirt so I can mark the fuck out. Buy 5 of them. Put one in my background like Jacky has that shirt as a poster. I'll put it in my backdrop. Give me my shirt. I'm like the Batista meme. Give me what I want. I want a damn shirt. Like, how is this not coming? They made Jay White.
They make a shirt for everything. They gave Marina Shafir a shirt before she was even on freaking TV.
They made Jay White say it during the announcement. How is there not a t-shirt?
Because Wheeler Yuta wrote BCC in blood on his chest. Their shirt came out.
Jay White has nothing to do. Or that announcement had nothing to do with them. And then Jay White said it. And you tell me there's no shirt. Fuck.
Kyle's gonna cry.
I'm losing it.
Give Kyle what he
Shop
wants.
AW, I'm losing my fucking mind. Give me a shirt. Or I'm gonna make one myself.
You're gonna have to make one yourself.
He's gonna bootleg them.
You're gonna have to make one yourself. Sell them outside of arenas, like iron them on like crooked.
Yeah. Get your t-shirts. Get your t-shirts. Authentic AEW t-shirts.
Get a t-shirt, just draw it on with a marker, like really,
exactly.
like shoddy.
Hey, yo, it's authentic. Yeah. Money. Yeah. It's good.
Now, what do you think about Kyle O'Reilly winning here, though? One of your boys.
I said it before the match even started.
You're
Kyle O'Reilly's winning.
Yeah,
it's gonna happen, and look what happened because of the story of Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole. They love that shit. They love bringing up old feuds in the past because they know us wrestling fans watching AEW are not idiots and know that there's a past between Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole. So we know that those two are going to meet up in a match in the tournament, and it's going to be a great match. They're going to run it back and do it AEW style and be even better than what they did in NXT. So we know it's going to happen now that both of them are in the tournament. What hilarious would it be that they come to Dynamite next week and find out that the first round matchup is Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly?
Dude, it would be
Jesus
incredible.
Christ.
It'd be incredible.
Right? Like, or what if, like, after Rampage, right? Like, what if after Ishii's match, Adam, because I know Adam Cole's going to be Ishii. Ishii's not going to be in the tournament, as much as that would be cool. But what if, like, after, like, Tony Schiavone comes out and tells Adam Cole that his match is against Kyle O'Reilly. That would be
That'd be excellent.
I'm avoiding the spoilers. I hope that happens. Anyways, yeah.
But Jacky, what do you think of the match?
Yeah, I said what I need to say.
All right. So I'm gonna echo and say, give Kyle his damn shirt already. No, the match was really good. I think it kind of just reinforces what we've been saying this entire time, and that's when Jungle Boy gets on his own and he goes on his solo run, shit is gonna be lit. I feel like his complete style, his pacing, everything is totally different from when he's working tag team stuff to compared to when he's working single stuff. But he looks great. Kyle O'Reilly, they announced that it was his first ever singles match in AEW, and he's Canadian.
Right?
Who the hell would have thought? Another Canadian Kyle. Who would have thought? Not me. I like that they had Kyle O'Reilly go over clean. There's no shenanigans. There's no nothing. It's just like he was just the better guy in this match. And then at the end of the match, we get Jungle Boy looking up at Christian Cage, who's coming out to the ring, and he's apologizing, saying he's sorry, and Christian Cage is consoling him. And I'm like, they're planting seeds. Is this going to be like, are they going to break away from each other finally, and just kind of do their own thing? Is it going to be like just a severance, or is it going to be like this whole big freaking to-do with Christian Cage going heel or something like that? But overall,
definitely something to look forward to.
Overall, I thought that the match was really solid. It's one of those matches that like it's a show stealer in its place in the middle of the card. But I liked it a lot, and I can't wait to see, like, as we're getting more of these matches, what opponents we're going to get for the qualifiers, because we complained about the women's bracket where we're like, the qualifiers feel lopsided because you'll get a really strong talent versus a not so strong talent. And you're like, well,
matches, though, like
no. I'm not complaining about it in that sense, but it's like, you know who's going to win. Yeah. I feel like in the men's qualifying, you'll have more of these instances where you're like, I don't know who's going to win.
You watch Dark. You tell me you sit there, look at the Dark card, and say you don't know who's going to win?
Oh, absolutely. That's one of that's unfortunately one of the.
It's like, here we go, John Moxley against Mike Quest. Yeah, Mike Quest is definitely winning.
No, I know, but this is
qualifying
but this isn't Dark.
I know.
This is Dynamite. So, yeah, I think the men's qualifying matches have a little more potential to be like, could go either way. Who's going to take the W here?
Yeah. Well, it was another great episode of Dynamite.
Oh, hold up.
One last thing. But one last thing. We have the Hook segment where Danhausen comes out and says he wants to fight Hook because the curse still isn't working.
Also, Ethan Page cuts a really good promo. That's it.
He cuts a great promo, right?
He bursted blood vessels.
My man's
I saw
unreal.
Somebody said this on Twitter. If you're mad about Sammy and Ty being these heel characters, it's your fault. You should have left them alone on Twitter.
Yep.
Right? You forced their hand. And actually, AEW, for once, unlike the Cody and Brandy stuff, listen and turn them heel. Now boo them all you want, and it's a part of the story.
I'm just more of a fan of Ethan Page now. Way more.
That's true. Ethan Page is cutting these great promos. And so next, at some point, we're getting Sammy Guevara versus
next
was
week.
It Ethan Page
or
Didn't
they say it's
Sky?
next week in the ladder match?
Next week.
Like very quickly, like during the music, which was I'm like, oh my god, this is just this. I hate when I know like they did the music to trying to rush them up. That's probably the thing that took too much time because they started the music and they didn't even announce the match for next week.
They go, by the way, it's a ladder match.
Yeah, so they're doing that, and the thing that's going to get lost in that whole segment is they want their mixed tag match. So we're getting some type of tie versus Paige Van Sant. It's looking like Double or Nothing, so we're getting that match. So this is great. It's all going to work itself out. It's going to be awesome.
Just Ethan Page is incredible. Like, my man needs to leave that group, and be the babyface, and then beat Scorpio Sky for that title. Because Ethan Page with that belt.
Or beat Sammy
in cutting promos. Holy crap, man. This guy just went to another level it took the internet hating on Sammy and Ty Conti for this side of Ethan Page to break out, and it's been every promo he's hit has hit better than anyone in this entire segment. Better than Dan Lambert, better than Scorpio Sky, better than Sammy, better than all of them. Ethan Page has been the star of this whole... I'm sorry. He's been the star of this whole feud.
Yeah, he has been. And hopefully the momentum keeps going in that direction. Keep cheering for Ethan Page if you're at these shows. If you're on Twitter, keep tweeting about it because Tony Khan reads Twitter. He has people, he pays attention to the crowd, so he will see this and he will put that belt on Ethan Page at the right time.
Oh,
so
please do.
it's going to be great. But a little preview for Rampage this week. We have Adam Cole versus Ishii in an Owen Hart Foundation qualifying match. Tony Schiavone will be interviewing Swerve Strickland and Keith Lee. Lance Archer versus Serpentico. That'll be a great match.
Rest in peace, Serpentico. Serpentico,
Right.
are you being dragged out during the entrance?
Oh my God, yeah. Eddie Kingston versus Daniel Garcia with nobody ringside. That should be fun. Tony Schiavone interviewing Britt, Tony, and Jamie, which will be fun. And then Jade Cargill versus Marina Shafir. Luckily, that feud will be behind us, and we can move on to something better. Hopefully, Statlander versus Jade at the
I just thought, can I get Lance Archer to whip Serpentico across somewhere and have him unleash those streamers out of his hands as he's being thrown across?
Oh, yeah, right? Yeah, that would be really funny.
That would be fantastic.
That would be really, really funny.
I know it's been already booked, but like, come on. That's a missed opportunity. That didn't happen.
Yeah, and we got a great Dynamite coming up next week, like we said throughout the show. Serena Deeb versus Sheeta, Wardlow versus Lance Archer, which everyone's excited about. We have Dax versus Cash, which is going to make poor Jacky combust.
Yeah.
We have Scorpio Sky versus Sammy Guevara in a ladder match that got thrown out there randomly. And then Undisputed Elite as a full faction versus Dante Martin, the Varsity Blondes, Lee Johnson, and Brock Anderson. That's the one thing we didn't talk about. We had that Undisputed Elite promo backstage with teased the Young Bucks being a little different, being a little baby face. They didn't come out with all the crazy colors and the sneakers. They came out very low key. So
Dwayne Johnson is all elite, baby. Bobby Fish, my man Bobby Fish was wearing Project Rock gear. He's all elite. I'm putting out in the world. I'm putting the spoiler. He's all elite. Start spreading it. Tell Ringside News.
Yeah, please.
Wait, was it Carrie that sent that
As said by Kyle
text?
Masters on Elite POV, Dwayne The Rock Johnson is all elite.
Anyway, was that Carrie that sent the text about Bobby Fish going undercover as Bobby Fish during that segment?
No. Someone else tweeted that.
No, that's really funny. That's really, really funny. That is the funniest fucking funniest comment of the week. But if you guys like the show, you can follow us at Elite POV on Twitter and Instagram, at Elite POV Clips on TikTok, where I am debuting at some point a new show called Wrestle Talk, which will be up to a 3-minute show where I just talk about something in wrestling.
It's not like I made a graphic or anything. Thank you.
What? You want me to wait for the graphic?
I made a graphic. I posted it. I put all his work into it, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I'll get."
I'm gonna do it, bro. I'm gonna do it. I'll do it tomorrow. All right. Stop yelling at me. Jesus Christ. All right. So, if you guys want to support us, ElitePOVmerch.com. Get all the great designs we have come up. As a reminder, we are bringing up Pride and Trans Pride shirts in the next month,
and
all the proceeds are going towards Nate and his surgery fund. I think that it's very important with whatever people do stuff like this where they come out with pride shirts or whatever, it goes to a charity, right? That charity gets spread out. Who knows where that money goes? I want to give directly to somebody that we can impact that's in that world, and what better than our good friend Nate to help with his surgery.
Shout out to Isaac who tweeted out a photo of him wearing our merch. He had the Pop the Boys hoodie. Love that, Isaac. Thank you for tweeting that out, man. It looked great on you, man. It popped the boys. It popped us. It popped the boys. And it popped
the boys. It popped all of us.
Yeah.
We're a big family here. We want to take care of each other. So whether it's buying merch or whatever, you guys support us. Patreon.com/ElitePOV if you guys want to support us in that level. Support our trip going to wherever all else can be.
Wherever it's going to be. We have fucking no idea.
Whether it's New York or whether it's Toronto or anywhere else. So support that because that is all going
New
to
Zealand,
that.
Australia, wherever it's going to be.
Yeah, wherever we have to go, right? Support us on that level. And we're going to make great vlogs for you guys. A ton of great content. The TikTok will be popping off that weekend, let me tell you. So it'll be a lot of fun. And Jacky, let them know where they can follow you.
You can follow me on Twitter at LoveYouMake24, and you can follow me on Instagram at JacksTheDraw POV.
And Kyle, let them know about everything going on in the AWF.
AWF is mine and Ant's E-Fed, folks. It's the place to be every Sunday, Monday night. Sunday nights, you're chilling at home, nothing to do. Come watch Ant on Ambition. Great show each and every single week, guys. Part of the AWF Alliance Wrestling Feds, and EFED, myself, and Ant run on Twitch, where we commentate over simulated characters that are created by a lot of people in this community and our Twitch community. People cut promos. It's really a great time. If you guys haven't caught a stream, please do. And then Monday nights, there's nothing else you should be watching on Monday nights. You should be watching AWF Breakout at 7 p.m. Eastern Time on Twitch, where I do my show, Breakout. And then we have a YouTube channel where we have one match a week. Philium just won this week on Wednesday. He beat D3, made him go to sleep in his retirement tour. Yeah, it's honestly a fun time, guys. And also, it's in the works. I may be going to the Super Show. I'm talking to not this Phil, but my other buddy I call No Cell Phil. You'll see him on the vlog if I do, because I will be doing a vlog if I'm going. It's going to be very touch and go. So it's going to depend on a few things. One, if I can get tickets, because tickets are going to go very fast that morning. I'm going to try my best. Two, I'm at a wedding the night before. And I planned on getting, and it was an open bar. So my original plan was to get absolutely bombed. I could get bombed and still go to the pay-per-view the next day. So it'll be a touch and go thing. I'm going to talk to No Cell Phil a little bit more, finalize some things. If so, I will be doing a vlog.
Yes.
I'm doing a big vlog for that. The road trip, because we're going to drive. We're not going to fly. We're going to drive. No Cell Phil has agreed to drive from here to Chicago. We're going to drive 8.5 hours to go to this event.
Which I can't believe is closer
Yeah.
than fucking me and Ant driving from my house, which is 12 hours to Chicago. You're only 8.
Yeah. Well, it's easy
Bullshit.
If you look at Ontario. If you look at a map, look where I am. If you just drive straight left and you go down into Detroit and then towards Chicago, it's not that bad of a drive.
Oh, lucky.
Yeah. You'd like to see me bombed? Oh, no.
Yeah. That'll be on the TikTok.
There's some footage somewhere on Twitch of that. You can go follow my old Twitch account, which I plan on rebirthing one day, and that's
I was just gonna say I've seen Kyle tipsy on stream. Like it's just
that was pretty close. Masters Gaming _2 underscores. There's probably a video somewhere in the VOD section of me playing Star Wars, and it's hilarious. But I might resurrect that channel soon, just because I've been dying to do some gaming. So look out for that, guys. Follow me on Twitter at @AllEKyle. And my EFED. EFED. I can't say mine.
The EFED is so much fun. You know, Kyle and Ant do a fantastic job. We talk about it every week. It's getting better and better every single week. So make sure you check that out. And thank you guys for checking us out and listening to another great episode of Elite POV. And remember, you don't need a hat to be a cowboy.
Bye.